Baja in San Juanico. We met Dane and Sara when we were in Baja, and I was scrolling through Instagram, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and found out they were in Panama too. And so long story short, they have driven out here to where we are in Panama, and they're gonna come hang out with us for a bit, which is crazy and cool.
Intro video. Yeah, just one of the cool things about this lifestyle of traveling and meeting other people who are traveling. You know, that was in Mexico over a year ago. Now we're in a very different place. Now we're down in Panama, and just from this lifestyle of meeting other travelers, you know, eventually your paths will reconnect or cross at some point, and that's the case here. They're gonna be pulling up here in just a minute. Are you trying to drink that water? Woohoo! Our friends are here, Tucker. Let's go catch them. Hey guys, how's it going? Do you think you would fit under this? Under that? I'm pretty sure you would, but yeah, my idea is to move the car across the street and have you guys park there. That way all your stuff is safe inside.
Okay, that'd be perfect.
This is Playa El Palmar, and we have surf right in the backyard. Show you guys the house, and if you guys want to stay inside with us tonight, we'll show you. We have a room for you, just for you guys. This is our favorite part about this area. Just this big backyard, right on the beach.
Yeah, a giant mango tree as well.
Isn't that cool? And this, have you heard of the Panama tree? So this is the Panama tree. Hey guys, I was able to sit down with Dane and Sara, and we did an interview which is coming up on the channel here soon. It'll be a nice video and some great inspirational stories about their travels. After the interview, and for this video here today, I had a chance to sit down with Dane and Sara and talk more about traveling through Central America. The audio is pretty crappy, so I apologize. We just had the GoPro mic, but it's actually pretty interesting information. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys, because they share a lot of interesting tips and things that they went through for traveling and navigating through Central America safely. I almost forgot to mention, while Dane and Sara do travel in their custom van, for those of you like us with bigger rigs, don't count yourselves out just yet. Towards the end of this video, Dane and Sara share about some of the other rigs they've seen traveling down through Central America. So anyways, our channel up until now here in Panama has been about traveling in our RV and throughout the country in Mexico. And this is kind of different. We're here in Panama, but it's actually a cool opportunity to ask you guys, because they didn't fly here like us. They drove down. We met you guys just over a year ago in San Juanico, also known as Scorpion Bay, Baja, Mexico, which is a very famous and popular surf spot. It's really cool. So since we saw these guys, they've been in their van traveling all the way down through Central America to here, and we had our first experience crossing the border in Mexico and dealing with the federales, whether it's the Mexican or the Baja Mexican police or the Marines, the military folks, and that was a very unique and cool experience. And by now I'm sure you guys have had many more experiences, and hopefully the waves are noisy, but hopefully the audio is good enough that we can kind of like see what have you guys gone through to, you know, to get here.
The funniest one was because we'd come through Mexico and we went into Guatemala, and that was fine. That was pretty standard. But then we went to go from Guatemala back into Mexico, and we actually weren't allowed in. They were like, nah, the paperwork's wrong. You can't come back in. We're like, what do you mean? We came in already. And they're like, yeah, that's okay. But
you can do it at another border crossing, but you just can't do it here because our boss doesn't really want to.
He won't, yeah. So basically, because one guy didn't want to, we had to drive back into Guatemala, which was another border crossing. It was actually a little bit quicker because it was they'd literally seen us an hour and a half ago. So we went back into Guatemala, and then we had to go down through there into Belize, so cross another border. But we ended up spending a few weeks in Belize, which is amazing, and then go from Belize into Mexico, hoping that we could get in there, which we did, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But it was just like a very obscure thing. Now we've done 3 border crossings at Mexico and rejected at 1.
So strange that just like the person on duty can dictate like how does it go down? Does it go down well or not?
Yeah, we actually were kind of nervous going into Costa Rica because my passport had 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it had 4 months left, and it's one of the countries that the validity of your passport has to be over 6 months. So
6
we
months
were,
or more,
yeah, 6 months at least. So we were, I don't know, I think it was like 4 lines, and we were looking at the officers, and we were like, okay, we'll take him because he looks like a gentleman. And then we were like, oh my god, this line takes the longest. Why?
Nah, it wasn't even that. The guy was really grumpy, and he was super short with people, and we were like, okay, we don't want this guy.
So we were like, oh, let's just go to the young lad over there. So we went to this young guy, and he was like, oh, hola, ¿cómo estás? And he was just like, oh, bienvenidos. The TIP is the
temporary import permit for the car.
Okay.
So you need one in every country. Sometimes they cost money, sometimes they don't. The one for Panama is free. The one for Costa Rica was like $30 or something. But you always need insurance. Every country we've gone to, except for Guatemala.
Okay.
We've had to buy insurance.
Right, and this is so like you can't start bringing in vehicles and selling vehicles on the black market, right? It's essentially.
I'm assuming that's the case. Yeah.
I think the premise behind it is just that Baja, Mexico didn't require, but mainland Mexico would have required us to put down $400 US as kind of a deposit for the TIP, which we would get refunded when we bring the vehicle back out of Mexico. Yeah. And it's just, I guess, their insurance because there's tariffs, right? There's different embargoes and taxes on certain goods, and they don't want somebody to start bringing in cars and selling vehicles without the proper, federal tax applied to it. In the US, you cross the state border, no big deal, but here now you're crossing different countries. There's a lot of different rules going on there.
So the iOverlander app has all the borders and security checks along the way. They check for drugs, guns, that you have the right documentation for yourself and your vehicle, and that everything is in order, like just to keep everything good on the road.
One of the big things that we were worried about when we first went down on our motorhome to Baja, when we met you guys, it was our first time out of the country, in a motorhome at least, and we were worried about what they call the mordida, the tiny bite, which is the corrupt police officers. They pull you over, whether it's legit or not, they pull you over, and they're essentially looking for a bribe. You give them some money, and they let you just go on your way. We were a big RV, so we'd stop and let traffic go, or we would, wave people by and like let people pass us. And we were just very polite. And I don't know if that's what helped us not have to deal with that or not, but we had heard people had dealt with that. But so you guys have been all the way to the end of Central America. Yeah. And so a lot of countries you've gone through, have you had to deal with any corrupt police or landowners that like come yelling at you for camping out or anything, or? We've dealt with a few police now. It's the first interaction was definitely the worst one, I think. The first time we got pulled over was in Mexico City. Okay. And they've got this no circulation rule. And everywhere you read, it's like, yeah, you can't drive in Mexico City, you can't drive in Mexico City. And we weren't driving in Mexico City, but it turns out it's the whole state of Mexico, the whole central state of Mexico that Mexico City is in. Huh. So we were just over the border. And it's only before 11.
It was only 10 minutes until that was over.
The rule applies until 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And then it was like 10:30, quarter to 11, and they saw us. We thought we were doing the right thing, and they got us, and they told us like, yeah, if you don't pay now, we're going to take your car for a few days, and blah, 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 blah. We're like, okay, how much? We knew that they weren't going to take our car, but we just wanted to keep going anyway. They were like $400. Okay, we don't have $400. You're gonna have to take us to the station. Like, how much do you have? We're like $100, like, which is all we had.
Yeah, we had $130.
Oh, $130, yeah. So eventually they're like, it's not enough, it's not enough. I'm like, okay, let's go to the station. They're like, oh, you must have more. We're like, we don't have more. Let's just go to the police station. Like, okay, it's fine. So they took it eventually.
They were aggressive.
They were
really
aggressive, yeah.
And there were 4 police officers in that car. I was shaken up. I was really shaken up because I don't know the authorities like by then, how they were, what was gonna happen. So, and then we saw like 11:02, police call, going back into the city. So I think they are pretty much waiting for foreign plates to pass, and
or even just out-of-state plates. It
Yeah.
applies to anyone not from Mexico State. It's it's put in place that was meant to clean up Mexico City. So there's a few different parts to it, but basically it's like you can't drive before 11 o'clock in the morning with foreign plates on.
We have had really good experiences as well with the authorities. In Mexico City, we were just walking around, looking at stuff, and 3 police officers came up to us, and we were kind of like, but they were like, okay, listen, this is not a really good area for you to be in. So wherever you want to go, we can take you there. And we were kind of like, should we get in your car?
Yeah, we were actually worried. We were like, oh.
Yeah, are you gonna take us somewhere else? Like, we didn't really trust that, but we didn't.
You're gonna wake up in a bathtub full of ice with the kidney missing.
But they were really helpful, and they were like, yeah, so this is like the end of this area, and here is fine for you to be again.
Okay, cool.
So. And also in Belize, they were amazing. We thought we had gotten mandatory car insurance.
Yeah, a lot of them you just pay when you get your TRP. So sometimes it's just like 1 window, 2 windows, you pay, you got it, it's all done. Yeah,
because and they're like, listo, everything is done. So we pretty much, I thought we were done, but they were like, okay guys, so here's the deal. This is a federal crime or something like that. So if you don't have this, you can be. But like, I understand the situation. And I'm just gonna go and talk to my boss, and they talked with each other, and they were like, okay, we're just gonna escort you to the insurance place so you can purchase your insurance, and we can see that you have it. And they were so nice.
In the end, they didn't even escort us, so just go, just
like,
please buy it. Yeah,
like we trust you, we have, but just have it, because if we can't catch you again or a colleague, you might be sent directly to jail.
That's cool, right? So these obviously were not corrupt officers. They just caught you with something you needed or without it.
It was just a standard checkpoint. There was all these other people pulled over as well.
So so we were just talking about safety. I guess there's a lot of unknown, because until you've been there, you don't know. There's so many stories you hear on the news or hear different people talking about, and you don't know what's fact from fiction. So it's hard to know what to believe, and it's hard to know like what's safe and what's dangerous.
Sort of had one, but it was kind of our own fault because we broke pretty much the only rule we have, which is don't drive at night. And that is the only thing I would say is don't drive at night.
This was a Friday.
Yeah, it was a Friday as well. It's not even a big issue. It turned out to be nothing, but it could have been something, if you know what I mean. But it wasn't a big deal. Overall though, that in 15, 16 months, that is the only issue we've had the whole time, besides a few little police. But everything else is like been completely safe.
Yeah, but you guys went through Mexico, and you don't drive through Mexico, right?
No, I mean, a lot of people, when we were leaving the States, a lot of people were like, oh, so are you driving through another state or California? And we were like, no, we're going to South America. And people were like, no, are you going to Mexico? Oh no, you can't do that. Like, Mexico this and Mexico that. And we were kind of a little bit scared.
It's off-putting when so many people tell you that it's so dangerous.
For those people that are watching this that are worried about the safety of traveling through Central America, what are your thoughts? Like, are there certain like things you do and don't do and make sure it's a safe trip?
I mean, I don't think there's anything you can do to make sure it's a safe trip. It's bad luck. It's bad luck. It just happens with driving a car. I think the dangers are a little different, but it's I think our only rule really with driving was don't drive at night.
I don't have jewelry.
Oh yeah, not having visible, like gold chains and earrings.
Yeah, we don't have the camera maybe strapped around our necks. We don't have like an open bag. We don't. It's because a lot of the times it's the opportunity as well. When we are parked somewhere, we don't leave the surfboard outside. We put it inside. And it's just eliminates those unfortunate, but things that can happen in these countries because a lot of places are poor and it's the opportunity, right? I don't think anyone wants to hurt anybody, but if the opportunity is there, why not maybe make $100 of that surfboard or something like that. So eliminate, just always lock the doors, check the area, don't drive at night, don't wear expensive shit on you.
Yeah. And that's what's so great. Most of these beach towns, we're walking around with baggies. Maybe you have on a shirt, maybe you have on a top, but you know, we're just on the beach. We're not trying to get dressed up, and it makes that a pretty easy thing to achieve, right? Just tranquilo, just chill out and just enjoy the scenery, and you don't have to dress fancy. Right?
No.
I don't have fancy clothes anymore.
And I never go alone. I only at the beach and stuff like that, but I've always been, I'm like that in Europe as well.
It's definitely been a little bit different though. The solo female thing is a slightly different experience. There's a different attitude towards women in Latin America than there is in, let's say, Europe or the US.
Yeah, but that's what I like about Mexico City, that they have lines for women in the subway.
They have old cars for women,
all women cars, women and children. I'm not used to like the kind of pressure that I've been exposed to maybe down here.
You need to have a little taser. You just go zap their ass. Keep your hands to yourself.
But I've learned to deal with it because you hear people calling out to Latin girls and they're like, they're so used to it. It's just a kind of a part of the culture a little bit.
So one last question would be, a lot of our friends have big motorhomes and, you know, fifth wheels and travel trailers. Is there any certain like maximum size you've seen people traveling with down here?
I think if you plan your route the right way, you could bring anything you wanted. We've seen photos and stuff of people going from Alaska to Chile or Argentina in RVs.
Wow.
They've done it, but I'm sure they didn't go, like, coming here wouldn't be an option. Or like...
Yeah, well, right, and I mean, we're just maybe less than a mile off the main, the intra-American highway, the main highway, and there's semi-trucks out there, you know, all the big lorry trucks and stuff, so if those trucks can go up and down, then I'm sure most vehicles can make it. It would probably just limit you to places you can access, right?
I think the access is just a bit harder. And the roads aren't like, when you want to get to certain beaches, you're not going to be able to drive an RV down there like you could potentially do in the US or Australia or whatever.
Fair enough, Cool. So there you go. So if you have a rig that you're comfortable driving, or, you know, if you just want to go for it, hey, you know, it's an option.
Just watch out for Guatemala. There's a few big hills. That was the only, we met a few people that
had to turn around and drive.
They had to get towed up the hills.
Wow.
Yeah, because they couldn't get out of there. But other than that, there's just like that was actually from one main spot. We heard of a few people that had to get their vehicles towed out of there. Okay. Because it's very steep and narrow,
Wow, okay.
But there was still massive buses and trucks going down there. Their vehicles were a little underpowered for the size.
All right, so for those of you that are considering taking an RV or a smaller vehicle, even, you know, a van, a Unimog, any of the bimobiles, all these cool vehicles that are out there, Central America is definitely an option if you want to, it sounds like.
South America even. But once you get to South America, it's meant to be easier.
Okay, cool.
Because the roads are bigger, more open space. We have a little website, holidayfromwhere.com, and I have an Instagram with the same handle.
And we're also at Summer with Sarah.
Well, thanks for sharing your time with us.
Yeah, no worries.
See you guys next time. Off they go. All right, they're off on their next adventure. That's what this lifestyle is all about. Traveling to new places, having fun, growing stronger as a family as we go. Good kiss.
That was too cool. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook, and our website is outsidescalling.com.